Welcome to another episode of Community Coffee and Cocktails, a place where we get to know our local business owners, community leaders, and Space Coast enthusiasts about life in Brevard County. I am your host, Cindy Paulson. Today, I'm talking to Billie Jo Hopwood. Billie is a family law attorney and partner at Platt, Hopwood, Russell & Co., where they offer full services of pre- and post-divorce issues. Before becoming an attorney, Billie was a paralegal for 20 years. In addition, she is also a Florida Supreme Court County Certified Mediator. Thank you so much for stopping by, Billie.
Thank you so much for having me, Cindy.
My pleasure. Well, I'm glad you're here with so many different facets and intricacies of family law. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, family law is, we do divorces, we do paternity, we do some prenuptial agreements.
Yes.
We have started doing adoptions. My partner, Tiffany Cole, does adoptions, which are amazing.
That is amazing.
And we do other things. We help collect child support. We sometimes help change child support if somebody's had a change in circumstances. Right. They want to get more child support. And we'll do things like, change parenting plans, modifications, and things like that.
So pretty much you do everything across the board when it comes to family law.
Yes. I did start out in criminal. I was a criminal paralegal for 17 years and thought that when I graduated from law school, I would do criminal. And I said, didn't want to do family law, but here I am.
That's so funny. We have a great reputation, so
well, thank you.
It definitely suits you. Now, you're also a Florida Supreme Court County Certified Mediator. Tell us a little bit about that.
Mediation is actually something that is required in any contested divorce.
Okay.
If people resolve those things, if they come to me and say, hey, my wife and I have resolved everything, I can also write up an agreement as a lawyer. Okay. But if they come to me as for mediation, sometimes they come without attorneys. Sometimes they come with attorneys. Mediation is something where the court orders you to attend and that you try to get together, and the mediator helps you to facilitate and communicate and see if you can agree on things.
Right. Oh, that's great. So now say, somebody's going through a hard time and they're contemplating divorce and they wanted to contact your firm. How would your firm handle that? They would call you. What would be the first thing that you would do?
So if someone calls my firm and wants to have a consultation about a divorce or a related family matter, is they would call us at 321-72-LEGAL. And they would ask for me or one of my associate attorneys or Attorney Cole. And what would happen is they would be scheduled for a 30-minute free consultation.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's excellent.
And I do suggest that you don't wait until you're ready to move out.
Right.
That you do that at, a few months. And I've had people come 2 years before they decide to actually get divorced so they can get their ducks in a row.
Right. So I'm just curious, how long is the divorce process here in the state of Florida? Does it vary based on assets and everything else?
Well, it could be really quick. Like myself, my ex and I, we, about 2 weeks we negotiated a divorce, and about 10 days later we were divorced.
That quick?
Well, it can happen. There's no waiting period.
Okay.
You have to be a resident of Florida for 6 months before you can file.
Okay.
But I know there's some states that have a waiting period.
Right.
But what I'm going to tell you that the court requires that you go to mediation first if it's contested, and then you request a trial. And that trial can be 8 to 12 months down the road.
Wow.
So mediation is definitely something that people should take seriously, and it's a great tool that our circuit and our state uses so that the judges, aren't overflowed and you can actually get your case done.
Right. Now, is it more cost effective to do mediation versus obviously to go to court?
Oh, yes. It's a lot more cost effective. With mediation, you're going to pay your lawyer and you're going to pay your spouse is going to pay their lawyer, and then you're going to share those mediation fees, which might seem really bad that you've got three people that you're paying in one room. But if you have everything that you need so people can make decisions, they might be able to, at mediation, they might not be able to settle every issue, but they might be able to settle 9 out of 10 and then only ask for a shorter trial. So if you only have one issue rather than 10, you're going to pay your lawyers a lot less, and you're going to keep that money in your family.
That's great. So now I'm just curious from our own benefit, you mentioned briefly about prenups. Can you talk a little bit about that? Are they becoming more popular or less popular?
I think they are.
I don't want to say popular, but
I'm going to suggest that with more women in the workforce and women earning more than men, that prenups are becoming more popular.
I would agree.
And I think in the past, men wanted them, and they may not have communicated as well as women do. So when women want them, they get them. So the other thing that I think is interesting is so the prenup is something that you would basically do before you got married.
Prior.
And you would say, this is what we're going to do with our property rather than following Florida law. So you can also do a postnuptial agreement. So you've been married a few years and you're contemplating, I've had a situation where a wife, her family wanted to give her some family property and they wanted to make sure it stayed in her side of the family. So they did a postnuptial agreement to protect that piece of property.
I think that's a fair thing to do. Well, that's great. Is there anything else that you want to share with us about your firm?
Well, in addition to family law, we also do personal injury and criminal defense. And we offer free consultations on those as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, I'm really glad you stopped by. But before I let you go, are you ready for some lightning round questions?
Sure.
All right, great. So what is your favorite coffee or cocktail?
A Michelob Ultra. I do not drink coffee.
A little hurt. And what is a must-do amenity here in Brevard?
I would say the beaches for sure. But what I really love to do on the weekends is paddleboard on the river.
We'll have to go one time.
Yeah.
And who was your first concert?
AC/DC. What about yours?
Sammy Hagar.
Love that.
I do too. I'm a little rocker.
The 80s were the best.
They really were. I love it. So what is the one thing that you are grateful for right now?
I am grateful for my health and my children's health and my mother, especially in her health, especially with COVID going on. And I wish that everybody would definitely ramp up their, taking care of themselves, eating better, exercising, so that we have less problems with COVID.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Well, thank you to Billie Jo Hopwood for joining me today. Tell me, where can people find you?
We're at the corner of NASA and Apollo Boulevard in Melbourne, and they can reach us for a free consultation at 321-72-LEGAL.
As always, please send your questions to realestatehousewives@gmail.com, or you can direct message me here. Be sure to check out my website, realestatehousewives.com, and peruse. There are hundreds of listings on the beautiful Space Coast, home to attractions like Kennedy Space Center, the Brevard Zoo, beautiful shoreline sunsets, and much more. Cindy Paulson, raising the bar in residential real estate. Until next time, smile and be well.